Welcome back to the 2015-2016 NBA preview. Today we are going to be covering the Orlando Magic, which we have ranked at number 21. My name is Josh, your enviers, and today with me is my co-host.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the one and only legend of winning, aka Low. We're back again. Yes, we're back. And
Tell a friend.
Damn, I've completely forgot the lyric. Tell a friend. And Orlando Magic, pretty solid team in my opinion.
Let's take a look at what they did leading up to this season.
So the Orlando Magic, a team that has really been struggling to bounce back after the whole Dwight Howard fiasco, got rid of a lot of players after that and kind of trying to bounce back with draft picks and trades and things like that. Players like Nikola Vucevic and Tobias Harris through trades seem as if they're going to be keepers and players that seem like to be developing extremely well underneath the Magic's system and identity. And then recent draft picks like Elfrid Payton, Victor Oladipo, and Aaron Gordon seem like they're going to have a bright future in the NBA as well. So this is an extremely young team that seems as if they're trying to piece it together. And I'm not sold on their coach yet.
Yeah, I'm not sold. The only downfall is their coach. I do have to agree. From Jacques Vaughn to Scott Skiles.
Yeah, Scott Skiles. Yeah, that guy.
From Jacques Vaughn to Scott Skiles, that is not really an upgrade. You know, there's better coaches out there such as Scott Brooks, Tom Thibodeau. So
can they get a coach? Jesus Christ! Like Jacques Vaughn.
I know.
He was. What did Drake say?
And that's probably the reason. That's the main reason, in my opinion, that they're this low and we have them out of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, just because they have a lot of young talent, and the coach it doesn't seem to be doing it for me.
In the words of Drake, the great Drizzy Drake Rogers himself, Jacques Vaughn was steering the ship with his eyes closed. Jesus Christ. It was just terrible decision after terrible decision. And this is a young team with a lot of good talent, in my opinion. But I don't know about this coach neither, man. It's just, man.
So with that said, let's take a look at what the Orlando Magic did this offseason. They acquired Shabazz Napier, C.J. Watson, and Jason Smith. I really like their point guard depth now. It's going to be interesting to see, how the PT works out.
Yeah, I'm a fan of their point guard depth as well, but I kind of just think that they kind of got C.J. Watson there to really just aid in with shooting because Elfrid Payton isn't that great of a shooter, so I think that was what it was for. And of course, you need a veteran on the team anyway. You always need a veteran on the team. You can't have a whole bunch of young guys just running around with a bad coach on the sideline. You got to have some veterans in there who know what they're doing, man. And C.J. Watson, I've seen enough playoff games. He knows what he's doing.
Especially after waiving Ben Gordon. He was the veteran, and they just decided to get rid of him. They also lost Luke Ridnour, Mo Harkless, and Kyle O'Quinn.
Not too bad
of a loss.
That's not too bad
compared to what they got. They got some decent role players.
Especially with the whole issue of like Tobias Harris, he's going to come back because he was a free agent. For what they lost to what they've gained and what they were able to keep on this team,
they got better.
They did a really good job.
They also drafted Mario Hezonja.
I don't know nothing about this guy. You're gonna have to inform me again.
And I believe that is it. That's all they.
Is he?
They might have drafted. That's the only important player they drafted, really. But a lot of people, well, not a lot of people. I would like to say the only time I heard this comparison is when the mock drafts were starting up. They had him going at number 5 through 7, and they were comparing him. Saying he's basically the best shooter in this draft, comparing him to Peja Stojakovic.
Woo!
Now he's more athletic than Peja, but he has that that shooter's mentality. He's gonna shoot the ball, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he does with the Magic. It's probably even a starter at one point. So if he develops, he could probably be a starter.
Athletic Peja Stojakovic. That sounds. I'm not gonna lie, Josh. That sounds. I like that. I really and truly like that, especially with the lineups, how they can like manipulate it and stretch it out. With Tobias Harris at the 4 and then kind of just put Mario at the 3. I don't know, man. That seems pretty interesting. It's
interesting for the future. Definitely not now, but for the future, it's going to be interesting to see how the rotation plays out and the flexibility as well.
They need shooting on that perimeter anyway, because it's just.
And Mario Hezonja can do that.
He can.
With that said, let's take a look at the current rotation. Nikola Vucevic, Channing Frye, Tobias Harris, Victor Oladipo, and Elfrid Payton. This is decent.
Solid. I wouldn't be surprised if Channing Frye continues to start. They overpaid for him. I think that was probably the biggest fault that they did over the past 3 years. With Channing Frye, I'm not, he had that one good season with the Suns. But outside of that, I like the lineup, man. The flexibility is most definitely there, and I like the young pieces that they have around each other. But I want to see more Aaron Gordon. I really want to see more Aaron Gordon.
Which leads us to the bench. I really like the acquisition of Jason Smith. Nice backup. Aaron Gordon, Mario Hezonja, Evan Fournier, and CJ Watts, which leads us to the question.
So, like y'all probably already know, and if you don't know, the question is something that I asked you, the viewer, and I asked Josh. A question that I asked specifically for the team that we are talking about, and we are talking about the Orlando Magic. And the big question that I have for the Orlando Magic is, how good do you potentially believe a player like Victor Oladipo or even Tobias Harris could be, and do you think that they could mesh well together? There's a lot of young talent on this team. Aaron Gordon has been potentially listed and named the next Blake Griffin. Vucevic was most definitely undersold to them by the Sixers when they made that trade. Tobias Harris, I think last year, he most definitely put his stamp and his value in the league. And Elfrid Payton most definitely seems like he could be that guy. In my personal opinion, I'm a huge Victor Oladipo fan. I think he is a 25-5-5 player. He will be an all-star player in today's NBA. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem like all of that is going to be possible if everybody's on the team together. But even with that being said, who do you think will mature and reach their peak first? And who do you think they're probably going to keep?
I would personally have to say Oladipo is basically, he should have been the number one pick when Anthony Bennett was selected, but it is what it is. Oladipo is showing amazing, dunks, his hops with the USA basketball right now in practice. So out of all the players right now, Oladipo has the brightest future and the highest ceiling, in my opinion. So he's probably going to be the keeper out of the five, young guys they do have. Guys that, might have to leave eventually would probably be the next guy who's going to get a big payday, whoever that may be.
So you think regardless of, because I agree with that, I think Aaron.
It's going to come down to money.
So, yeah, true. Do you see 25-5-5 in Oladipo? Do you see he's that type of player? Because this year he averaged 18, 4 and 4. This year, 44% from the field, 34 from downtown. Can he hit?
Not a numbers guy.
Oh my goodness! But me personally, I do feel like he can most definitely reach that 25-5-5 mark for sure. But Aaron Gordon kind of seems like the questionable mark. I just feel like in this system, he's not going to get too much PT, and because of that, I think they'll end up trading him and probably moving in another direction. But all these players, I really do like.
Now on to the predictions of what the Orlando Magic will be doing this season.
Like I say sometimes, when me and Josh disagree with teams, I do think this team is actually really good, and I do think that they'll probably be holding a playoff position for a pretty solid.
In a few years.
No,
definitely in a few years.
They're gonna do it this year. I think they're going to be in the playoffs.
I don't feel the coach. Especially with certain teams above them.
I think they'll be in the playoffs.
They'd all have to be healthy, and they'd all have to be putting up amazing numbers because all these guys, they're young, and they haven't been around the league.
I think they'll make. I'm probably gonna go on a limb, and I'll probably be wrong because, like you said, the coaches are terrible. 7th seed in the playoffs.
Oh,
I know that's a stretch. That's a stretch, but I really and truly believe that.
At most, I could see him fighting for an 8th seed with the Pacers and Celtics, but that's even a stretch in my opinion. But who knows? These are predictions,
True.
With that said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the video and share it if you did enjoy. These videos take a long time to edit and record, so thank you if you do.
Yeah, shout out to everybody who's watching and commenting and sharing all the time. We love the appreciation and the response that y'all are giving us, even in the comment section, of course. Please like and share it always, but we do love the support that we're getting out of this. And shout out to all the haters as well. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but we'll see y'all next time.
We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
I don't even really like saying, I don't want to say bye today. I don't even want to say bye.
Don't be.
Okay, I'm not going to say bye.